Hey, coaches, you ever wish you had like a cheat code to connect with clients like on a deeper level? Well, today's deep dive might just have the key.
Ooh.
We're unlocking The Structure of Magic Volume 1
Okay.
by Richard Bandler and John Grinder. And trust me, this isn't just like some dusty old therapy textbook.
Right.
It's packed with communication secrets that can honestly like transform your coaching practice.
Yeah.
Help you attract your dream clients. And honestly, just make you a better communicator, like in every aspect of life.
Absolutely. What's so brilliant about this book is that it unveils how we even perceive the world.
Okay.
You know, it's not this direct objective experience.
Right.
We're all kind of operating through these invisible filters, what they call mental models.
Mental models. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm intrigued.
Yeah.
What are those exactly?
Yeah.
And what do they have to do with coaching?
Think of them as personalized lenses shaped by our unique experiences,
Oh.
our neurology, even societal norms. We don't actually see reality directly. We see it through the lens of our own model.
Right.
And this, my friend, is crucial for coaches to grasp.
Yeah.
You need to understand the world through your client's eyes.
Okay.
But just as important, you need to recognize your own potential blind spots.
Yeah. So it's like I have my own mental map of the world.
Yes.
And my client has theirs. And they might be totally different.
Exactly. And if you're not aware of those differences, misunderstandings can happen.
Yeah.
You know, it's like that experiment they described with the playing cards.
Okay.
They showed people a bunch of regular cards, but mixed in with some trick cards.
Right.
Like a black four of hearts.
Wait, a black four of hearts? That doesn't even exist.
Right.
Yeah.
But most people didn't even notice.
Wow.
Their mental model of what a playing card should be was so strong that they just saw it as normal.
Right.
So imagine how much more this plays out in complex coaching scenarios.
Oh, yeah.
Where emotions, beliefs, personal histories are involved.
Wow. That's eye-opening.
Yeah.
So how do we as coaches start to like see past these mental models?
Okay.
With our own and our clients.
That's where the real magic begins.
Okay.
And the answer lies in the way we use language.
Right.
Language isn't just a tool for communication.
Right.
It reflects and even shapes these very models we're talking about.
Okay, I'm starting to see the connection here.
Yeah.
So by understanding how language works, we can start to understand how our clients see the world.
Yes.
And in turn, help them shift those perceptions.
Precisely. And Bandler and Grinder break down this concept into 3 universal patterns of human modeling.
Okay.
Generalization, deletion, and distortion.
Okay.
These patterns impact how we communicate, how we perceive, and ultimately how we experience the world.
All right. Let's dive into these patterns.
Okay.
Starting with generalization.
Yeah.
I know I'm guilty of making sweeping statements sometimes.
Sure.
How does this play out in a coaching context?
Think about a client who says, "Nobody ever listens to me." It's a common generalization.
Yeah.
But it creates a very limiting reality for them.
Right. It shuts down possibilities.
Exactly.
But how do we as coaches help them move past those generalizations?
By guiding them to get specific.
Okay.
Instead of accepting that sweeping statement, "Nobody ever listens to me."
Right.
You might ask, okay, who specifically hasn't been listening?
Okay.
When? What happened?
Right.
You're helping them unpack that generalization and uncover specific instances, which paints a much more nuanced and often less disempowering picture.
That's a brilliant strategy.
Yeah.
It takes that huge, overwhelming statement and breaks it down into manageable pieces.
Exactly.
So what about deletion?
Okay.
What's that all about?
Deletion is all about uncovering hidden information.
Okay.
It's like a sentence with missing pieces.
Right.
Imagine a client says, "I'm scared."
Right.
There's a whole world of information missing there. Like, scared of what?
Yeah.
What's the worst that could happen? What are you even picturing in your mind?
Right.
By asking these powerful questions, you help them uncover the full story.
Yeah.
Which often reveals that the fear might not be as big or as insurmountable as they initially perceived.
I see. By bringing the unspoken fears into the light, they become less scary.
Yeah.
And we can start to address them.
Absolutely.
Okay, I'm getting how generalization and deletion can like limit our clients. What about distortion? What does that look like?
Distortion is fascinating.
Okay.
Because it's about how we twist or misrepresent things, often without even realizing it.
Yeah.
And one way we do this is through what's called nominalizations.
Nominalizations.
Yeah.
I'm not familiar with that term.
It's basically turning a verb, an action, into a static thing.
Okay.
For example, "I made a decision" becomes "it was my decision."
Right.
See how the deciding disappears in the second sentence?
Yeah.
It becomes this fixed, unchangeable thing.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
And in a coaching context, why does that matter?
Because it can make clients feel powerless.
Okay.
If they see decision as this noun, this solid, unchanging thing, it can feel like it's out of their control.
Right.
But by reframing it as a process,
okay,
you empower them to take ownership.
So instead of focusing on the decision, we could ask, what led you to decide?
Exactly.
What options did you consider?
Yes.
What were you hoping to achieve? We're shifting it from a noun back into a verb, an action they took, which gives them back their agency.
Precisely. And this brings us to one of the most valuable tools Bandler and Grinder introduced, the Meta-Model. It's a framework of questions designed to challenge these very patterns of generalization, deletion, and distortion.
This Meta-Model sounds like a game changer for coaches.
It is.
How can we actually use it in our sessions?
It's all about asking the right questions at the right time. Let's say your client says, I can't seem to get my business off the ground. That can't is a huge red flag. It often points to a self-imposed limitation, what we call a modal operator of possibility.
Modal operator of possibility.
Yeah.
I'm going to need you to break that down for me.
It's basically a linguistic pattern that reveals a limiting belief. In this case, the client's belief is that it's impossible for them to get their business off the ground.
I get it.
Yeah.
So instead of accepting that can't, we could ask, what's stopping you?
Exactly.
Or what would happen if you did get it off the ground? These questions challenge that limiting belief and help them see new possibilities.
Exactly. You're guiding them to uncover the real obstacles, which are often internal rather than external.
Okay, that's super helpful.
Yeah.
What are some other examples of how we can use the Meta-Model in coaching?
Let's say your client says, my clients are just not responding to my marketing. Notice the deletion there.
Yeah.
Which clients specifically?
Right.
Not responding to what specifically? By asking for specifics,
Yeah.
you help them pinpoint the problem areas and create more targeted solutions.
It's like putting on our detective hats.
Yes.
And searching for those missing pieces of information.
No.
I'm loving this.
Okay, good.
What about distortions?
Okay.
How would we use the Meta-Model to address those?
Imagine your client says, my lack of confidence is ruining my business.
Right.
See how they've turned lack of confidence into this thing, a nominalization?
Yes.
It becomes this external force that they're battling.
It makes them feel powerless to change it.
Exactly. So as a coach, you can help them reframe it as a process. You might ask, when do you feel most confident?
Right.
What steps can you take to build your confidence in this area?
Yeah.
You're helping them see that confidence is not something they have or don't have, but something they can cultivate.
This is mind-blowing.
It is.
It's like learning a whole new language of coaching.
Yeah. And the best part is, the more you practice using the Meta-Model, the more intuitive it becomes.
Right.
You'll start to hear these patterns everywhere.
Yeah.
Not just in your coaching sessions,
Right.
but in everyday conversations. You'll become a master communicator.
Right.
Which is a powerful skill to have in any area of life.
That's so true. But, you know, something that's been on my mind is how to actually introduce these techniques to clients.
Okay.
I mean, it all sounds amazing.
Yeah.
But what if they feel like we're dissecting their every word or being too analytical?
That's a great question, and it's something every coach needs to be sensitive to.
Yeah.
The key is to approach these techniques with curiosity and empathy, not judgment.
Okay.
Remember, you're on the same team, working together to help your client achieve their goals.
So it's not about being confrontational,
No?
but rather guiding them to deeper self-awareness with compassion.
Yeah, it's all about creating that safe space, you know, for vulnerability and growth.
Right.
And, you know, I'm realizing that this Meta-Model
isn't just about asking questions. It's about truly listening.
Yeah.
Really tuning in to what our clients are saying
Right.
and what's left unsaid.
You've hit the nail on the head.
Yeah.
It's about listening beyond the words. Hearing that deeper meaning, the underlying beliefs, the hidden desires.
Right.
And when you can do that, you build a level of trust and rapport that allows for true transformation to occur.
This has been an incredible deep dive.
It has.
And I feel like I have a whole new set of tools
Yeah.
to help my clients break through those limiting patterns.
Right.
But before we wrap up, I want to touch on something we mentioned at the beginning.
Okay.
How can understanding the Meta-Model help coaches build a thriving business.
Yes. It's not just about client sessions. It's about creating a business that reflects your values and attracts your ideal clients.
Right.
And the meta-model can be incredibly powerful for that as well.
I'm all ears. How so?
Think about your marketing messages.
Okay.
Are they clear, concise, and compelling? Okay.
Or are they filled with generalizations, deletions, and distortions that might be turning potential clients away?
That's a great point. I know I've been guilty of using vague language in my marketing sometimes.
Right.
So are you saying we should analyze our website, copy our social media posts, even our sales conversations through this meta-model lens?
Exactly. Look for those hidden assumptions, those unspoken messages that might be holding you back.
Right.
For example, if your website says, I help people achieve their dreams.
Right.
That's a lovely sentiment, but it's also very general.
Right.
What kind of dreams? Who are these people? How do you help them?
It's missing those specifics that would really resonate with the right people.
Exactly.
I'm starting to see how this could be a game changer for marketing.
It is.
And it goes beyond just the words you use. Think about your ideal client.
Yes.
What are their mental models?
Right.
What are their fears, their desires, their aspirations?
Yeah. The more deeply you understand them, the better you can tailor your services to meet their needs.
Absolutely.
This is making me rethink my entire approach to business.
Yeah.
It's like the meta-model isn't just a tool for coaching.
Right.
It's a philosophy for creating a more aligned and impactful business.
And a more fulfilling one, too.
Yeah.
Because when you can connect with your ideal clients on a deep level, not only do you make a bigger impact, but you also enjoy the work so much more.
This deep dive has been packed with insights.
It has.
I'm already feeling inspired to go back and reevaluate my entire coaching practice through this new lens.
That's great.
And I know our listeners are feeling it too.
I hope so.
But before we say goodbye, I want to leave everyone with one final thought.
I'd love to. If your coaching business were a sentence,
Okay.
what deletions or distortions might be holding it back from truly flourishing? Think about the language you use to describe your business, your services, your ideal clients. Are there any generalizations that are limiting your reach? Any hidden assumptions that are blocking your growth?
That's a powerful question to ponder.
Yeah.
It's a reminder that the meta-model isn't just a technique. It's a way of thinking.
Yes.
A way of seeing the world and ourselves more clearly.
Exactly.
As coaches, the more clarity we have, the more we can empower our clients to create extraordinary transformations in their own lives and businesses.
Beautifully said. And remember, this is just the beginning.
Yeah.
There's so much more to explore in the structure of magic.
Right.
I encourage everyone to dive deeper into this work and discover the transformative power of language and communication.
Thank you so much for sharing your wisdom with us today. This has been a truly enriching conversation.
Cool.
And to our listeners, we hope this deep dive has sparked new ideas and ignited your passion for coaching. Until next time, keep exploring, keep growing, and keep unlocking the magic within yourselves and your clients.